Hi, we're back with more fun and excitement. You know, I thought that last video was going to go viral. It's just going to like explode throughout the pool world. But it didn't, and it's not the first time I thought I had a great video that you guys didn't think was great. And there's been times when I thought, you know, I could have done better on this video, but I'm tired of obsessing on it and just got to upload it. And if it doesn't do anything, I don't care. And then everybody does it. So, I don't know. You guys are really fickle. I can't figure you guys out. But this should be a good one because it deals with the basics of pool. And when something's wrong with your game, always go back to the basics. So anyway, let's get on with this. Watching this first shot and all the rest of the shots too, is how my bridge hand and my grip hand is getting down with one motion onto the table at the same time. So I don't put my bridge hand down first and then lower the cue. It's all coming down in one motion. On this one ball, I'm trying to go 2 rails here and come back up to the center table on the 2 so I could draw back on this 3. But pay attention here how my stroke pauses right before I'm going to shoot at the cue ball and then comes back and pauses at the bridge and then follows through. Very important. Alright, the problem with that shot is I nicked the 5. Everything was right. I also had a little bit too much head movement. Be conscious of your head movement. Everything on your body should be still except your stroke arm. So let's move on to the 2 ball. The agenda was to get out to the center of the table and just draw back on this 3. I think I said that. But now I'm a little bit too far on this side, and now I have a problem with this hitting this 4 ball. So it's 2 shots, and I've hit 2 balls, and you never want to hit balls. The first one was an accident, and this one was also an accident. I tried to come up high here, but this is a low deflection shaft, and it did what it's supposed to do, but it ran into the 4 ball. Again, watch the stroke. Watch how it pauses at the cue ball, pauses back at the bridge, and try to get in the habit of doing that. So that could have been a disaster, and we could have hooked ourselves behind the 4 ball, but I do have a shot on the 3, and this is a stun shot. The stop shot is when the cue ball stops right in front of the object ball. And this is the same thing, but I have an angle, so it can't stop, and it has to be forced somewhere. So after shooting this on a stop shot, if it was straight in, the cue ball just would have stopped. But I'm not hitting the object ball full, so it has to go somewhere, and the agenda is to get it just out, not real far, maybe a diamond, maybe a foot. So, and watch how I get down on the table again, and watch the stroke again. It should be fluent. So that's a stop shot, but it can't stop, so it has to come out on this angle. Now here I have a dilemma, and I'm not real sure. My first instinct is always to draw the ball. If we can get center table, we're fine on the 5 ball, and that 5 ball does pass this 7 ball here and go in this pocket. I have about a half a pocket, but it still goes. So that's the agenda, is to get center table. The problem is drawing this ball is going to come off on an angle, and it's going to hit the 9. Now, if I hit this, or hit this 8-ball, if I hit it full, yeah, there's no telling where this 8-ball goes. If I hit it below in the bottom half of it, it could tie up the 6 and the 8, and the cue ball is going to go down here for like a nearly impossible shot on the 5. So I'm deciding. See, now I'm thinking twice. Maybe I should go 3 rails on this and come back like this, but that's right in the path of the 6-ball. So if I put top on this ball and come down to the end rail and hit this rail, it's going directly in line with the 6. Now I could juice it and put a little bit of English on it to avoid that from happening. But I'm also deciding at the same time I'm going to stick with the draw plan and just make sure I hit the top portion of this 8-ball, which should send the cue ball to the center of the table, or close enough to it. There's the 8-ball is going to get pushed over here somewhere, and I'm deciding, well, that's fine as long as it's not tied up with anything. I can still run these balls out, and it shouldn't bother anything. I just have to make sure it hits the top of the 8-ball and not the 8-ball full. So I'm really putting a lot of draw, and you'll see the draw hook up on this rail and take to the top part of this 8-ball. If you have to hit a ball, make sure you know where the cue ball is going to go and the ball that you're hitting is going to go, so you have a little more to think about than normal. Again, watch the stroke, pause at the front of the cue ball and pause at the bridge before shooting. So that ball is really taking off that rail. If it didn't hit the 8-ball at all, it probably would have been sent down table after hitting this rail here. So now I'm exactly where I want it to be. So what are we doing on this shot? I can't tell how much of an angle I have here. I'm looking at it. It looks like we're going down to the end rail, but I don't know if we're going 2 rails and back out. I don't remember what I did here. Just pay attention to that stroke. Yeah, I'm just going down to the end rail. And I didn't get straight in. I have an angle here on the 6, so it's going to send the cue ball over here. But it really doesn't matter. The only thing I don't want to do is get behind this 9 sitting here against this rail. That would be horrible. But you really have to think here. The 7-ball is makeable from anywhere on the table except there. Is that the heater coming up? Yep. We're going to pause right there, and you guys, I don't even know why I say that, because the pause is only 1 second. But the reason it's pausing is because of the heater, of course. I don't just run commercials for Purex. I play with them every single day. I'm back. And aerating my yard. Anyhow, we have to draw this 6 back off this rail. Just let's not get stuck behind the 9. That's the only place we don't want to be. A little further, it's a long shot, but it's easily makeable. The problem is controlling the position on the 8. So I believe I'm coming off this rail. For this angle here, this is a scratch shot. You have to be careful. I think I went long here. and got on this rail, but the agenda was to use the line on the 8-ball and bounce off this rail and just get on this line. Went a bit long, but again, these shots are, while they're easy to make, they're not easy to get position on. That stroke was not fantastic. Watch how my cue comes flying up in the air. Not real bad, but it does. And you always want the ferrule of the cue resting on the table after the shot. Don't let your cue come up. I don't know why it's not there. It is. See how it popped up. So yeah, it's not great position, and these shots have hurt a lot of players. Focus on the basics. Keep your eye on the ball. Hit it lightly, because people make the mistake of hitting this really hard and doing crazy things like going 2 or 3 rails back and forth. I don't know why they do that. I think it's just a nervous thing where they want to get it over with, and they kind of close their eyes at the last second and hope for the best. Just keep your cool, man. Take a deep breath, and you can do this. I mean, ain't no biggie. See, the problem is you can't put center ball on that because you're on the rail. So it's all, it's easy to miss, because if you don't hit top center and you're just off a hair, it's going to deflect the cue ball just a hair off path, and that's all it takes to miss that shot. So just focus on top center, exact center, following through and keeping your eye on the center of that object ball. And take a deep breath and don't tense up. Don't get too excited. Stay down. Keep a straight stroke. All the basics there. So that was a good shot to look at that back pause and the front pause on that. Watch, there's the pause at the front, there's the pause at the back. I should stay down longer. I tend to get up a little too fast. I was once taught by a very, very good player when I was young to stay down on the table until all balls stop rolling. And which I used to do when I was young. The only exception is if a ball's, it's going to hit your cue or something. But you should, it's good advice, stay down until all balls stop rolling. And work on that pause at the front and the back of your stroke, and getting down the whole stick, front of the stick and back of the stick down on the table at the same time. There's another one. A lot came up. Hitting balls. Shooting off the rail. Stroke. The stance didn't come up. I don't know how many people have made note of my somewhat awkward stance, but maybe we'll do that in the next video. Peace, everybody. Thank you for watching. I do appreciate it.